Well, our guests are starting to arrive amidst a lot of hard work and logistics. This is Roger from the MSC Mission Office, and you're with Mission Alive. As I've mentioned often, we're having some events for our 25-year celebration. Tomorrow is the Eucharistic Mass celebration at the Cathedral at 2:30. You're all welcome. And the news at the moment is our guests from overseas are arriving amidst a lot of difficulty. First of all, I'll introduce a young man here. This is Brother Chris Anton. He's from Papua New Guinea. And we just got him some warm clothes because he came here in a T-shirt. And so we've got him rigged up a bit now. Chris, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. I'm Chris Anton from MSC Mission Office, Papua New Guinea. Yesterday, we arrived from Port Moresby, Brisbane to Sydney. We arrived around 11 o'clock night. Place is very cold.
And why were you so late?
In PNG, when we take off from PNG, the plane was delayed. So we arrived in Brisbane at 5 o'clock. So when we arrived at 5 o'clock, we're trying to transit to Brisbane to Sydney. Then we missed some of the flights to Sydney. Then we had to wait until 8 o'clock night, 8:30, and then we leave Brisbane to Sydney. So we arrived at 11 o'clock, going up to 11:30. So we arrived at Kensington.
And Brother Chris was travelling with our Cardinal Archbishop Sir John Rebart, who is now probably still sleeping up in the monastery. Anyway, we'll get back to Chris at another date, and he'll give you a fuller story of his what he's doing. Flights delayed, that's rather typical, and these are the things we're trying to deal with at the moment. So we've got 15 people to come in. We've got about 10 in at the moment. Delays out of Port Moresby because financial difficulties. Air New Guinea has two big planes on the ground at Brisbane awaiting maintenance. And so their big plane, the bigger one, is doing the Asian route. So coming down to Australia is only the smaller plane, the Fokker 100, which is slower and which of course takes less people. Anyway, these are some of the difficulties we're facing. And one of our workers here, our fundraiser, Chris Heron, he undertook to go to the airport and wait for people and then called up one of our vehicles to go and pick them up. So Chris was out there for many, many hours trying to track this down and trying to keep a track of when the plane was coming. So that's just one story amongst all the difficulties of getting people here. Now, another one I want to tell you is 3 of our men had difficulty getting visa, 1 in India and 2 in Cameroon, in Africa. And whatever the difficulty of, maybe they ticked the wrong boxes or didn't give the right information in the first place on their visa application. So we were advised to go to a lawyer, a travel lawyer, which we did, which is the lawyers that we use for any legal matters from the office here. And this went on and on and on, week after week after week. The department asking more particulars. There were so many emails going backwards and forwards. We were kind of going crazy. Sean, our man here, he was handling it all. I left it to him, and it was just maddening. You know, the details, the bureaucracy, unbelievable. Anyway, by a few days ago, we'd given up that these 3 were not going to make it. Some had arrived, so I went to the supermarket to get a bit of food and extra things for them. I'm in the middle of the supermarket, and my phone rings. And there was a voice I couldn't understand. I recognized it as an Indian accent, and I couldn't understand. And I did hear the word India. And I said to this lady, I said, "Can you speak very clearly and loudly? I'm in a noisy place." So she said, "I am ringing from India." And she was asking about this priest that was coming, Father Joji Babu. And she said, "Do you know him?" I said, "Yes." "Did you invite him?" "Yes." "Is he going back to India directly after the conference?" "Yes, I assure you that he's going." So then she hung up in half an hour, Joji had his visa. Now, how difficult was it in the end? Given a simple phone call and a conversation, any difficulty was solved. Then I came back here to the office, and we discussed matters here, and we were advised by the lawyers to try and contact the minister, the federal minister for immigration. So it was too late in the day. So I was the last in the office here, and I said, enough. I shut down the computer. I was closing down the blinds, and I was just about to go, and the phone rang. And I thought, oh, goodness, at this hour of the day, who's ringing up? So I answered the phone, and this lady said, I'm ringing from Nairobi, from the High Com or the consulate in Nairobi. And so she mentioned the two priests from Africa, Father Sylvain and Father Jules. And so I asked a few questions backwards and forwards. She seemed to be satisfied. And again, within half an hour, they had their visa. Now, they won't be arriving till Monday. They moved pretty quickly. They secured their bookings fairly quickly. So they're flying Ethiopian Airlines from Yaoundé to Addis Ababa to Kuala Lumpur, and then Singapore Airlines to here. So that's some of the stories of just getting people here before we start work. So this is Mission Alive. This is all part of Mission. And we hope this week or two that we have with these people will build them up and give them more energy, more information, and more skills to carry on the mission. So thank you for being with us on this mission. I'll try and keep you updated through the next week or two on what happenings and events and the people, the men that we brought. There'll be 14 men and one lady from Jakarta. So thank you for being with us. And keep on the mission.